Good Thursday morning. It is time for the school day to begin. We're laughing, singing, and talking, and the school bell has rung. Let's say our Thursday prayer. Every day, God takes you by the hand and says, no matter how difficult the path you tread, I will never leave you. This is Thursday morning. It's a thankful thinking Thursday, and we're ready to get our day started. Let's have a great day, Rayfield. It's Thursday. Just a quick reminder, guys, today is April 1st, and that means it is April Fool's Day. Let's see what jokes and pranks are people going to play today. Remember, it is April Fool's Day. I just wanted to give everybody the heads up. April 1, 2021. Let's get ready to start our beautiful week. We're going to have a great day as usual, and we're going to learn more and more. Think that Wednesday may be the last day in this month, Marching to Perfection, and then for next week, April 1st, of course, is April Fool's Day. Our theme for the month of April is Spring Forward at Rayfield. So let's get ready for the details and activities that will help us spring forward at Rayfield. As I stated, guys, we're always growing, always learning, always ready to move forward in a positive way. Everything here is very positive. And that's not to say that we're perfect. We're just learning. We're learning how to accept when things don't go our way. We adjust. We're flexible. We know what to do. We don't melt down. We handle it. We manage it, and we move on. So that's what our theme, Marching to Perfection, is all about. Just handling whatever happens and handling it in a positive way. Let's go, guys. Let's get ready for our day. We're going to have a great day. This is our dance class. It looks like they're doing the Macarena. Is that the Macarena? Yep, looks like it. Today is Just Dance at Rayfield.
AI. And how appropriate is that in the month of May? Because May, in fact, next Sunday is also Mother's Day. So as we get this Thursday started, we want to recognize that this coming Sunday is Mother's Day, and we will be recognizing our moms, our caregivers, and all of those who play a mother role in our lives. So as we get started today, in our life skills lesson, we're going to talk about the 8 sworn enemies of mental toughness. All week, we've been talking about being mentally tough. We have the skills that are needed to help us move forward and be positive in all of our thoughts and all of our mental health initiatives. So let's learn the 8 sworn enemies of mental toughness, and I'm sure it'll take us a little bit further. Learning to face complications and setbacks while remaining confident in your ability to persevere is a long road. If developing mental resiliency were easy, well, everyone would do it. The idea of giving up would be strange to us. The fact is that life throws obstacles in our path that can be seen in the moment overwhelming. When we must train our minds to withstand the despair and hopelessness that chips away at our confidence and our optimism when things go wrong. There are several adversaries you'll meet along the way. In fact, you may already be acquainted with most of them. Each one of them will try to intimidate you and pressure you to surrender when situations become difficult. We're going to look at 8 most common threats to your psychological tenacity or your mental toughness. By the way, at the end of this lesson, you'll know exactly which hazards to look out for, and it will gradually strengthen you. You will have the tenacity and the fortitude to move forward with your head held high, and you will be equipped to overcome anything that stands in your way. Enemy number 1 is called self-pity. Feeling sorry for ourselves is exhausting. It takes a lot of energy. It also sabotages ourselves, makes us more likely to resign ourselves to failure and persevere through difficult situations. We end up dwelling in our unfavorable circumstances rather than toughening our minds and seeing our way through our challenges. That affects our behavior. Instead of rolling up our sleeves and digging in our heels, we focus on everything that went wrong. We wallow in negativity, which prevents us from taking the necessary action to overcome our adverse situation, such as the danger of inherent self-pity. It is a ban of psychological resilience. Number 1, self-pity. Stay away from self-pity. Enemy number 2, self-doubt. It is difficult to stay mentally strong in a favorable situation when you lack confidence in the ability of your own skills. But the lack of ability and skill are rarely the main factor that determine whether you fail or whether you succeed. The deciding factor is usually insecurity. Insecurity breeds inactivity, which is a much larger threat to your success. There's nothing wrong with feeling self-doubt. Doing so is natural. It's our brain's way of both protecting us and preparing us for the hard work ahead. Fortune 500 CEOs, world-class athletes, top film directors, and even presidents experience self-doubt. The trouble begins when we allow self-doubt to possess a foothold in our mind and paralyze us. All of our energy becomes focused on the perceived deficits in our insecurity. So let's get rid of enemy number 2, self-doubt. Enemy number 3 is called The inner critic, your inner critic, that little voice inside your head that criticizes you. This enemy is related to enemy number 2, but it deserves its own spotlight because it can have such a crippling effect that it will just continue and continue and continue. Each one of us have an inner critic. It's that voice inside your head that tells you that you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not pretty enough. It's that nag that tries to convince you that we don't deserve the success we seek. It finds fault with everything we do, and it talks to us until we become almost insane in believing in what it says. That inner critic, your inner voice, may prove to be your most challenging adversary as you develop mental toughness. It not only will dwell on the negative aspects of your performance, but it will try to get you to do the same. And once your mind is focused on negativity, it's so difficult to turn that around. However, you will successfully if you strengthen your mental toughness. Becoming mentally strong requires resilience over negative self-talk. Enemy number 4 is called fear. Enemy number 4 is called fear. Wow, wow, wow. Fear comes in all flavors. Fear disappointing others. We fear meeting their expectations. We fear not having met our own expectations. We fear failure. We fear success. We fear the unfamiliar and the unknown. Regardless of the form, fear sabotages our psychological resilience. It erodes our resolve, it releases unhealthy emotions, and causes us to focus on negative outcomes. We freeze up, overwhelmed by the possibility of disaster. Fear distorts our reality. It implies that catastrophe and ruination are certain to follow our performance. If we allow fear to gain a foothold in our mind, we end up feeling defeated before we have even begun. The truth is, the odds of catastrophe resulting from whatever we are fearing will catch up with us if we allow it to. Fear takes every potential negative outcome and amplifies its impact. For example, if we're about to give a presentation, our fear may tell us that we will be ridiculed by our audience and that everyone will laugh while we're talking. In reality, we're likely to leave a favorable impression on the audience if we only believe in ourselves. Fear is an emotion that opposes the development of mental toughness. Once the latter develops, fear renders us powerless. Let's stay away from enemy number 4, fear. Well, we're almost there. Enemy number 5 is called laziness. There's nothing wrong with feeling lazy, nor is there anything wrong with taking the opportunity to relax. We must do so in order to gain balance. There's an alternative to burnout, and burnout is much greater threat to your performance and productivity than bouts of laziness. Having said that, laziness can breed additional laziness if it's left unchecked. For example, suppose your alarm goes off in the morning and rather than immediately getting out of bed, you hit the snooze button and lay back down. After a few minutes, you hit it again, and then after a few minutes, you hit it again. By the time you finally get out of bed, you're feeling sluggish and you're running late, and your morning is off to a bad start, and that sets the tone for the performance for the rest of your day. In this case, early laziness opens the door to general sense of lethargy, and faster. Enemy number 5, laziness. Enemy number 6, perfectionism. All of us perform without fault. At work, we'd like to give a flawless presentation. At home, we'd like to have our living space completely free of clutter. While participating in sports, we'd like to display impeccable execution. In school, we'd like to ace. It really knocks us down. We're unable to accept it, so we struggle to be perfect in everything we do, particularly to satisfy our own expectations and partly to avoid disappointing the expectations of others. The problem with perfectionism is the scourge of mental toughness. Nothing breeds inaction and erodes cognitive resilience as completely as the nagging thought that I am not perfect. This is less than unacceptable. This self-harassment breeds self-doubt and gives a center stage to your inner critic. Enemy number 7 is emotionalism. Our emotions can be our best ally or our worst adversary. Sometimes we experience joy, hope, love, and inspiration. These positive emotions can make us feel confident, content, and optimistic about the future. Other times, we experience anger, sadness, and jealousy. These negative emotions lead us to feelings of frustration and resentment and cause unnecessary anxiety. As noted earlier, negative emotions aren't a problem in and of themselves. They're a natural part of our psyche. Experiencing them does not preclude the development of mental toughness. The true issue stems
from within. Well, guys, we've covered the 8 enemies of mental toughness, the road forward. We've now covered the background you need to train your brain to endure difficult circumstances and push forward without giving up. Fair warning, this can be a long, arduous road. But guess what, guys? We're ready for it. We have the patience and the fortitude that it takes to move forward. This is Rayfield. It is the month of May, and we are excited about all of the great things that are going on, and we are exhibiting mental toughness in every single way. Well, guys, it's Thursday. It's that day that we do Just Dance Rayfield. Let's get our day started.